All right, here we go. OneNGlen back in action, checking in from the Wood household.
It's not that exciting.
Yeah, it's exciting. We have a special guest today coming to visit.
You sounded like you just died.
Mrs. Bartle Doo.
Hello, YouTubers.
Mrs. Bartle Doo, what are we making today in the Wood household?
We are making an apple pie from scratch.
Yes.
Do we have to preheat the oven? We have to preheat the oven, but probably not just yet. We're going to conserve energy. All right. I'll let you know when we preheat it.
Just to let you know, Mrs. Bartle Doo is the queen of pie making.
Did you say pie making with a bird? He's basically opening up some space in his stomach for the pie.
Just to let you know, Mrs. Bartle Doo is the queen of pie making. She makes the best pies in all of Kendall County and Will County, which consist of Oswego, Montgomery, Plainfield, Joliet, you know, all that area. The pie queen. Here she is one more time, Mrs. Bartle Doo, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello.
She is a YouTube favorite. All right, so what are we making today?
So apple pie, we're going to start with the crust. So this is very easy. You have 4 ingredients for the crust. Flour, salt, lard, that's what I use for my fat for my crust, and water. So with water, it's 4 ingredients. I pre-mixed some of this, so you want to put 2 cups of flour and 1 teaspoon of salt in a bowl. And then I've pre-measured the lard out, but essentially you want 2/3 of a cup of lard. So this is what lard looks like, it's just white. Okay, so what you're gonna do is really just kind of mix this together. I forgot my pastry blender at home, so I'm using one of their really nice forks here. I was concerned about the nice fork, but they're totally cool with me using it. You really just kind of blend the lard in with the flour. That'll take a little while.
Next up, we have the Master Apple Peeler Corer from Williams-Sonoma, and dun dun dun, Mr. Bartle Doo, ladies and gentlemen.
Buenos dias.
He is the Master Apple Peeler
Apparatus.
Yeah, I do. In here.
So what do we have to do here?
We have to calibrate the stroke for the sling slide here. And yeah, it's like within 1/1,000,000th of a millimeter that you got to calibrate it to get the slide stroke in. Okay, I think I got it.
You need one of these. This is a must.
This is a must.
Okay.
Let's see the slide stroke there.
See, it's not going in the hole easy. See, it's hitting.
This picture says what's wrong in this picture.
So you get it in there. See how it's in there?
Yep.
And you tighten the thumb nut.
We call it a wing nut.
Well, in
The UP.
in Williams-Sonoma world, it's a thumb nut. And see how it's like almost bored out for that slide stroke.
It's perfect.
See? See? Works good. Okay. Then, so then, this is the other, we got to do a test apple. Because
Go ahead, here. Already videoing?
see the shaving apparatus right here? That's like basically a scalpel.
This is going to take longer than making the pie.
Hold on, where am I shaving these?
We don't need that yet. I'm not.
Well, I got to
ready.
test one apple.
Oh, well, we'll test it when we get to that point.
All right, well then we got to wait.
Bottom line is, you need one of these.
You need one of those.
Yeah.
All right, next up.
Okay, so we've gotten the lard and the flour mixture and salt all put together. I don't really know how much water I put in, but you want cold water. because you want to basically mix this together so it's not, you know, floury, I guess. I don't know. You need it to stick together.
You put salt in here?
I put 1 teaspoon of salt with the flour.
Did Guy Fieri tell you that?
Jean Zerl, my mother told me that.
Guy
so
uses a lot of salt, by the way.
No, they salt meat
Measure them
a
out.
lot.
1,
Then
2, 3, 4, 5. We'll start with 6 and start to mix it so you can see what the consistency should be.
What is
like.
Jean's real name?
Her real name is Eugenie,
Glenn, you are playing with
and that's
fire.
what Maggie, her middle name is Eugenie.
Magdashian's middle name is Eugenie?
That is correct.
Eugenie.
Yes.
Oh my
Family
goodness.
name.
Now everybody's gonna know this about Magdashian.
Magdashian.
So you can see this starting to come together, but you can still see there's, you know, some loose
Maggie's gonna be
flour
on the
here.
next Food Network baking star.
Probably gonna do another like 2 tablespoons.
Did I say
I'm
Maggie?
sorry.
Mary is.
Yeah, watch out, Pioneer woman. I'm coming after you.
Exactly.
All right. So still some loose,
Stool.
not stool. No one's gonna want to eat the apple pie if it's loose stool. I think I'm gonna do 2 more. So I feel like we're now at 10 tablespoons if I'm counting right. I don't know. I kind of lost count. Some stuff I don't measure anymore. But you can see it starting to get together. Okay. So I feel like we're in pretty good shape here. Maybe just 1 more here to get this all together. So let's see, this took us about 11 tablespoons of water.
So if you put too much water, what happens?
It just is really sticky dough, which I guess you can always just add flour if it starts to really get sticky. But you can see here, as I'm moving my spoon, like there's no like flour that's really left on its own. They're kind of in clumps, and then I just, you know, kind of get it down, and then I kind of mush it together so we can get an even separation, because we need a top crust and a bottom crust.
This is enough for both.
Yes, this is enough for both, a top crust and bottom crust. And to be honest, I usually use my hands at this part, but since I'm on YouTube.
Use your hands. Yeah, do it how you normally do.
Sorry, this is
Yeah,
what we
what
do.
are
My
you
hands are clean,
doing?
folks.
We want to keep it real around here.
Right? I mean, so we want all the dough that we can get. All
This is
right,
Bartle Doo. You let her loose around us.
that's right. All right, what you need to do now, because we need to make 2 crusts, a top crust and a bottom crust. You just cut it in half. Okay?
Halvesies.
Halvesies. All right. So now you just need some flour on the side, because we're gonna roll out the.
Do we need to preheat the oven yet?
We are not at the stage of preheating the oven just yet.
No.
All right, so you want to get a little flour down.
Flour is that?
Roll that beautiful
Take
baby butter.
half of the dough,
What kind of flour is that, did you say?
all-purpose flour.
All-purpose flour. We'll put it on the sheet here.
Yep.
So if you don't have a... How come you use this parchment paper versus like a... I don't know, whatever the heck, whatever else you would use.
So we
Whatever
have,
else you were asking
well,
for.
yeah,
Ties mat.
I have a baking mat at home, but I forgot it, and we're at the Woods house, and they have very expensive countertops, and so I was very concerned to roll out the pie crust on their countertop. So we are making do with the parchment paper.
So expensive. I don't even want to
I
tell you
know,
how much we
I
paid for
can't
this.
even
I mean,
imagine.
so
Like,
expensive. You almost think you were... I mean, you almost think you're in the Hamptons when you walk into this place. Let me tell you, it's so expensive.
Okay, so you don't wanna like overwork the dough. That's very important, because then the dough will get rough. So you wanna kind of get it in like as much of a form as you can.
Like a UFO?
Yeah, and then start rolling it out. And always kind of moving it around to make sure that there's enough flour on the bottom.
What happens if you don't have flour on the bottom?
It's gonna stick to the bottom, it's gonna be bad. And then even like up here, like you're starting to see some flour go away. So sometimes I like flip it around like this and then,
Smudge some
Yeah.
flour on there?
and just try your best to keep it in as circular shape as possible. Cause again, you don't, oops, see this parchment paper is a little rough, but we're making do and we're gonna make this work. I might
Little-
need some assistance here holding this parchment paper down. This could
Lever
be like
buns?
a 10-person job here.
Yeah.
She needs some assistance.
Oh, wait, hold on. What's going on?
Just gotta hold it
What
better.
What happened?
It's
Okay.
coming apart.
We're doing good. Thank you, Marie, is my little
Must be these
Sous chef
expensive
here.
countertops that are not holding the tape. Oh god.
They're flown in from Italy, aren't they?
Nicaragua, actually.
Nicaragua?
The same
Material is it?
the same place that we drove for your Jeep when we had to put the seats back.
We 3D printed these.
Remember when we did the seats and I said, hey, how comfortable is this to drive Nicaragua?
That was Nicaragua.
Okay,
Right.
so you have your pie dish and you want to make sure like if you hold it over that the crust goes outside the perimeter of it so it's big enough, and once it does, this is very important to transfer it from here to here. You basically take this, fold it in half, and then like pick it up from both sides
Kind of like a diaper.
to do that. Okay,
Like
so
a
you
diaper?
move it over here and then you fold it
Whoa,
over.
look at that.
You might have to like position it, right? Okay. So now we are going to prepare the stuff for the inside of the pie,
Looks like a perfect little
which
blanket.
I've already self-prepared. What it is you want 1/4 cup of flour, 3/4 cup of sugar.
But don't
and-
tell people your secret.
I
We'll just
know.
say no. We're just gonna say cut that. We're just gonna say sugar, flour. What else?
a 1/2 teaspoon of salt.
No.
So we're gonna put in there flour, sugar,
A teaspoon of flour.
and salt.
No. Flour, sugar, and cinnamon.
Flour, cinnamon,
And a cup of salt.
baking soda, and salt.
I need a spoon and I
Bacon.
don't want to open your expensive cabinet.
Oh my god! If you
What size spoon?
That spoon right there is
I mean, we have so many extremely
options.
high-end spoons here.
from Meyer.
Okay, so what you need to do is
Family recipe right here.
it is a family recipe. We're going to be doing 6 layers of apples,
That
and
none
then
of you are gonna know.
between every 2 layers, we're going to add more of the filling here. So you start with a little bit, and you just kind of dust a little bit of the bottom because you want the bottom crust to get that, good cinnamony sugar taste. Now, Mr. Bartle Doo showed this apple peeler core thing. So Williams-Sonoma by far has the best brand of this, so recommend getting this one. This will take
After tons of trials, after tons and
hundreds
tons of pies.
Yes, hundreds and hundreds of pies. This will take an hour off of making an apple pie easily. So it's very important that you have this. So Mr. Bartle Doo is going to start doing his job in peeling the apple.
There he is.
Gotta-
I would say lover buns, it's a good time to
Gotta get it
preheat the
wet.
oven right now.
Okay, what are we
At this
preheating
stage,
it to?
we're preheating the oven for 425 degrees.
Can you get Halo? She's watching us too.
We probably need that bag under there too.
For what is
For
it?
what?
For what?
425.
Oh yeah, we're gonna need a bag.
Okay, 425.
Do you have a bag? Sorry, I need a cutting board and then a just small cutting board.
Do you have like a
Alright.
Jewel or Menards bag?
Yes. Are we plugging them too?
Or
Because
down?
Menards, if we're plugging plastic bags, Menards has the best
I
ones
know,
by
I-
far.
has
Like when you go to Menards, if anybody needs plastic bags like that, Menards is the best. Which size would you like, Mary?
Ooh, the Oswego
Now,
Farmers Market.
this is also one that we all prefer. The
Oh, we got
Oswego. Yeah, no, you got it. With us. The Oswego Farmer Market. The Oswego
Stuff in your toe too.
Oswego Farmer Market cutting mat.
Just let it roll, man.
What? Oh,
And
and
then a
a
knife, like a steak knife maybe.
Ooh, this one's
What are
gonna
we
be.
cutting?
This
We're
one-
cutting the apples.
Oh, my knives have pictures on them. Should I get the one that has fruit?
Surely. You got a jewel bag or a
Look at
Menards
that. Or a
bag?
nice Menards bag.
Yes.
Ooh, this is a big knife.
It's expensive too. It's expensive.
Very
expensive.
expensive, let me
That
tell
was
you.
like a ginkgo knife.
The print actually is really it's what sets it off.
This is gonna be a combination of apples.
Sorry, you're gonna be stuck with Walmart bag.
What kind of apples do we have here?
We got one Honey Crisp,
Fresh from the apple orchard.
Ginger Gold, Zestar, and Gala.
So we recommend mixing your apples in the pie and not using the same apples. Now,
Yeah.
it's apple picking season, so these are fresh from the orchard, which
We're
obviously those are the
diversified.
best. Yep.
Mary, do you like to eat your apple pies?
I do not usually like to eat my apple.
A chef that doesn't eat their own food?
I just don't
She
like
eats
her
her own food. She
I don't
doesn't like. She
fruit.
doesn't like
Yeah.
cooked fruit. The pie maker does not like.
Oh,
cooked
look at this.
Holy mackerel!
Oh, we're putting this in slow-mo.
Yes. definitely.
I
So-
see why you need that thing up to
Wow.
100,000ths of an inch.
Yes.
Right?
Okay,
Hold on a
so
second.
when John
This is
peels it
fun.
like this, what you do is you cut it in half.
I'm gonna be making apples for him.
And then what I do is I start basically lining them so we can get
nice.
one row on the bottom.
Oh, this is going slow-mo right here.
You want to
Let's
get
go.
rid of this or no?
I'll give her a piece of that ring that's down there. Yeah. Come here. Come here.
Oh yeah, this is going slow-mo right here.
She might like this one.
And
with
it
some honey
cores
crisp.
it?
Yep.
Wow.
Honey crisp.
Wow, look at the starting of this pie right here, ladies and
Do you like
gentlemen.
this one or do you like Honey Crisp? Can you get my dog? She's eating apples. Here you go. Here's Honey Crisp. Oh yeah.
You like Honey Crisp?
That one's a good one, huh, baby?
Back over here to Mr. Bartle Doo, the apple corer.
You might even get some juices like
I
flowing
know,
in
this
that
is
one.
like legit. Dang. Why have I not done this either? This is... Let's get a fatty.
That's the golden one.
Actually,
All right, OneNGlen, I might need you over here for a sec so I can show your
Okay.
followers what to do here. So once you have 2 layers, right, I kind of overlap them.
Okay.
What you do is, again, just kind of do like a layer of the sugar,
Mixture.
flour, cinnamon mixture. Yep. To kind of coat it like that.
Your
Okay.
dad's gonna love this.
Now we're going to do another 2 layers of this. So
Okay.
if you want to go back to Mr. Bartle Doo.
Thank you. Yeah, we're gonna go
I know
back over
that's more
here.
exciting.
We're getting this.
So, when you have to replace this from Williams-Sonoma, what typically goes wrong with the apparatus that makes you have to replace it?
the blade, unless you got a blade sharpener.
Oh.
And sometimes this gets,
Out of
Just
whack.
so when we
yeah,
tag them.
cattywampus.
Yeah, so when we tag them, they'll know.
Maybe they'll send us some free ones.
Exactly, Blades knows because they're on video with the best kind of Whoa, look at those strands of, what do you
pretty
do with
awesome.
those?
We throw them in the
Snacks.
garbage.
I want to give them to squirrels.
Yeah, maybe they'll stop eating our tomatoes if we give them those.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, sometimes I forget where I was.
And when you make these in the morning for people, like before you do this in the morning?
So I'll do this sometimes in the morning if like John's bringing it to a customer, or I make them for the teachers at Oswego High School. So if you have my daughter's
Yes.
class, you'll get a
Oh, it takes no time at all. What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, because we're documenting every step, but I can usually make a
You
pie in
didn't
like
finish that about
10,
Oswego
15
High
minutes.
School teachers. What did you say?
Oh, that I make them pies.
If
If you're my kid's teacher.
and
Husband.
no,
And they like, and you give your kid A.
there you go.
Oh,
I
yeah.
knew where you were going with this.
You did.
I knew where you were
Right,
going with
good
this.
I thought you meant in the husbands. I'm like, yes, thank you.
So I did another 2 layers, then the sugar. So we're gonna have
Sorry, Bartle Doo.
2 more layers because we do 6 layers, and then we're gonna put the rest of the sugar in. Yeah, no, if I need to make it, because I prefer to deliver my pies fresh to people. So we'll get up in the morning. It takes me about like 15, 20 minutes to make it.
Notice she said we.
I said we.
I know. I
Yeah.
said notice. She said we.
Yep.
Does that mean you have to assist?
Yeah.
This is
We,
his
we.
job.
Yeah.
Ooh.
How long has Mrs. Zarell been making pies?
Well, she's made them, I guess, for as long as I've been alive. But like John really wanted me to learn how to make them, so it took a little bit convincing because I think that Mrs. Zero was a little concerned that the crust would be too complicated to,
I thought her mom didn't want her to have a
Understand.
recipe.
yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't-
that's why we're not gonna let other people
I'm
have
like,
it.
you sure
It's a cup of salt.
Because I asked her multiple times. I'm like, I don't think your mom wants you to have the recipe.
But she did. So Mrs. Errol came over to our second apartment?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, this is so complicated, I need to make sure that I write down every single step of how to make this. So I have a 4-page recipe of how to make a pie,
Oh.
because I didn't want to miss any step. And
Yeah.
now, as you can see, I don't need a 4-page recipe. But okay, so I've got the last 2
You don't need
layers.
This is the 6th layer.
Yep, and then, no more apples, we're good there. So we're gonna use the rest of the sugar and, just try and do it
Wow,
evenly.
these honey crisps are off the
Right.
chart.